Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Wednesday, the 3rd of July, 2024. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed up 0.3% today to 7,740 points, with the tech stocks leading the way, thanks to a strong night on Wall Street. WiseTech Global reversed some of yesterday's losses, finishing up nearly 2%. Xero also did well. It was a good day for the miners, with the best on the bourse, or at least among the top 200, being uranium stock Deep Yellow, while the energy stocks did well also. BHP, Fortescue Metals and Rio all closed up 1% or better. Worst was Liontown Resources, which actually was the best yesterday, so there was a bit of profit taking going on there. The big banks were all lower. Online book retailer Booktopia has been placed in voluntary administration. Shares will remain suspended after they were halted in mid-June as the company searched for more funding. And APA Group shares fell after it said it expected a non-cash impairment of $145 million to its Moomba Sydney ethane pipeline. Story number 2, the broad-based S&P 500 closed above 5,500 points overnight for the first time ever. It was pushed higher by the tech stocks, notably Tesla, which finished up 10%. The tech-heavy Nasdaq also finished at a record above 18,000 points for the first time. The jump came after US Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell said he'd seen some really good progress in a recent decline in the Fed's preferred measure of inflation. In commodity markets, oil prices remain on an upward trend, with Brent fetching close to $87 a barrel. Gold's also trading higher, around $23.30 an ounce. Iron ore prices earlier in the month were forecast to drop below $100 a tonne, but they've shown some resilience. They're trading around the $108 a tonne level. In currency markets, Bitcoin's worth just under $61,000 a unit, and the Aussie dollar is buying 66.8 US cents. Story number 3, there was a welcome jump in dwelling approvals in May. The numbers jump around a fair bit, but approvals rose by 5.5% during the month, following a near 2% rise in April. The increase in May was driven by a big jump in approvals for apartments and townhouses. They're up mostly in Western Australia, followed by Queensland, South Australia, Tasmania and New South Wales. Now, given the slump in the building industry post-COVID, any good news in terms of building approvals is very welcome. But the pace of approvals is now running at only 161,000 dwellings per annum. The peak during the apartment boom back in 2016 was around 240,000, and the underlying demand is about 250,000 per year on AMP estimates. The chronic undersupply of housing remains a big problem for the economy and will keep pressure on prices and rents. Story number 4, Donald Trump's sentencing hearing in the Manhattan hush money case has been pushed back to mid-September. Mr. Trump, who's the first former president to be convicted of a crime, was set to be sentenced in a week's time. But following the Supreme Court ruling this week, which said presidents and ex-presidents are immune from prosecution if undertaking official duties, lawyers for Mr. Trump wrote to Justice Juan Merchan, who oversaw the Manhattan trial, and asked for more time to appeal the verdict. They argue that some of the evidence used at the trial, including social media posts and public statements, might have been official acts and therefore inadmissible under the Supreme Court's decision. And story number 5, Tesla's share price jumped 10% overnight after the electric vehicle maker reported a second consecutive quarterly drop in deliveries on the back of slowing demand and tough competition from cheaper Chinese rivals. There was slowing demand, but it was less than expected, hence the surge in Tesla's share price. The company's stock is now up 35% since June 11, though the value of the company is still around 60% of its peak in November 2021. Tesla delivered 440,000 vehicles in the 3 months at the end of June. It's back as the number 1 EV maker in the world. China's BYD also came out with numbers. It delivered 426,000 vehicles. It was further good news for Elon Musk. In recent weeks, shareholders have reapproved his $56 billion pay packet, which had been struck down by a Delaware court. Shareholders also agreed to move the company to Texas, and it is being repositioned as a robotics and AI company. In fact, the robo-taxi is supposed to be unveiled on August 8. As always, plenty going on around Elon Musk. That's it for the afternoon report for Wednesday, the 3rd of July, 2024. Michael Thompson and I will be back tomorrow morning with the Thursday edition of Fear and Greed Business News. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.